What's up guys, Darkdally here, and today I want to rehash over a video that I did about a year ago. About a year ago I did a video on recoil and how to maximize and tweak the recoil on your rifle. But that was right after the game had come out and there was a lot of incorrect facts there. And now that it's been a year and I know intimately every single part that goes into recoil controls how your weapon works, I want to show you that. And that's what we're going to do today. I've got a good place over here I like to practice recoil, and the way I do it is I stand a set distance from the wall, and this fence provides that quite well. And then, well, putting it on full auto usually helps. And then unload a magazine. And by changing parts, you can compare the height of the bullet climb up the wall. Now today we're using the 5.56 XI. I decided would be a good weapon for this trial because it can take pretty much, I think, all of the mods. It can take all 3 barrels, it can take buttstock, no buttstock, etc. The first thing I want to go ahead and do, first let's go ahead and let's swap this magazine out. Let's put a 30 round in there. Now when you're doing recoil, 90% of your recoil is going to come from your first 20 or so shots. So we definitely don't need a 50 round. Let's just go ahead and put a 30 round in it. So far the rest of the rifle is stock. Now let's go ahead and start with this. There are 4 parts on the rifle that affect your recoil, and only 4 parts. One of those is the buttstock. Another is the underbarrel. Another is the barrel. And the last is the muzzle. All of these things control your recoil. Let's go ahead and let's fire just a regular shot group. The other reason I like to do this here is not only because I have this fence, but also because I have ammo right over there, because we're going to need a lot of it. Now, one problem with testing here is that Undead will occasionally pass on that road. I'm going to make sure that we're set in arcade difficulty, because difficulty does not affect, okay, does not affect bullet trajectory or physics whatsoever. Only bullet damage, and we don't care about that today. We're also going to slap some optics on here just to get a better look at the wall. Because optics are not going to affect recoil. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put on a nice short range scope. This has been a favorite of mine recently, and we're going to get through this pretty quick. Let's go ahead and fire just a stock regular. Notice pretty much only the first 20 rounds provided any climb. Now let's go pop off this buttstock, because what that's going to do is it's actually going to make it worse, because you want the buttstock to obviously steady the rifle. Now, in my original video on this that I did last year, I said that it was all about handling. That's not exactly true. Most of the parts that increase, or rather reduce your recoil, do increase handling, but not all of them. Some of them actually make your handling worse. I want to put that out there. Now, with no buttstock, you can see we climb higher up the wall. So we know we want a buttstock. Now that said, these bullet groups can vary. Sometimes you may get some mixed readings and you may have to retest. So we definitely want a buttstock on. Now, let's move on to the next thing I said, which is the underbarrel. You got 2 real options here for good recoil. Now, first of all, this being an assault rifle, you don't want to use an angled grip. An angled grip is going to increase your accuracy, which we don't need with an assault rifle. The accuracy, and we can talk about this later, the accuracy is the horizontal deviation between the bullets, and assault rifles already have it pretty dead on. Angled grips are for submachine guns. For a rifle, we want a vertical grip. Now that said, there is a secondary choice. Grenade launcher. Let's talk about that in a second. So of the various 4 grips, you have just the regular one, the 2, 3, and 4. It should go as no surprise that the 4 is the best, and each one is slightly not quite as good. That said, the grenade launcher is actually really good for recoil because of the weight it puts on the front of your weapon, and it's second only to the V4 foregrip. Let's go ahead and just check that out right now. So here we have with the buttstock and a grenade launcher. You can see that the grenade launcher has significantly reduced our recoil. Now let's go ahead and let's replace the grenade launcher with a V4 foregrip here. There we go. And it's only going to be noticeably, I mean, it's barely going to be noticeably any better at all, but it will be a little better. As you can see. So the V4 foregrip is the way to go for the front. Again, if you're using any underbarrel attachment on a rifle, it should be a foregrip, or grenade launcher. Never waste, you're just wasting stats with an angled grip. I can say that confidently. Now for the barrel, you're going to want a short barrel. So we're going to go ahead and slap that short barrel on, and we're going to see a bit of improvement here. Now with the short barrel, you are making a bit of a compromise. Now, as I showed in a test before, I do not believe the short barrel actually affects damage like the stats say it do. But we do have more testing to do on that, and I'll show you why it's actually kind of can't be proven, but we're going to go into that in a later video. Anyway, at close engagement range, the short barrel doesn't affect damage. But what we are going to lose is you're going to lose bullet drop over range. Let's talk about that in one sec. First, let's fire this grouping with the short barrel. And you can see we've improved our shot group yet again. All right, so now before we move on to the muzzle, I want to say this about the short barrels. The one thing that you're sacrificing is you're getting more bullet drop. What I often do is to compensate for that, and this is something I've done quite a bit. You'll see me do this a lot on my builds, is I put a rangefinder on my rail. Now that doesn't fully make up for the bullet drop that I get by using a short barrel. It makes up for maybe half of it, but it helps. And I can't say I've noticed any real difference in the other ones besides the cooperative teamwork you can get with a laser sight combined with night vision. And of course, no side rail attachment has any effect on recoil. I've tried it. I tried the heavy ones versus the light ones versus nothing, and I've seen no difference. Now let's talk about the muzzle. There's two considerations here. A suppressor is going to give you better recoil, and I will demonstrate that right now. So now we're going to have even better recoil than our last shot group. Now that we have the suppressor on, it's weighing the front of the barrel down a little bit more. And as you can see, it climbs up the wall just a little bit less. However, so here's the trade-off, and this is why I run a compensator. A compensator will help you even more, but compensators are loud. So it's up to you if you want to play loud. I've shown you my loadout in a recent video. I run a loud assault rifle with a suppressed sniper rifle set up like an assault rifle. And to me, it gives me the best of both worlds. Because if you put on a compensator, you lock yourself out of the ability to suppress yourself, of course. But this right here is the best possible recoil setup that you're going to get on an assault rifle. Let's go ahead and fire another shot here. See how tight that is? See how much we've reduced the recoil in this weapon. Now, not everyone likes to fire big, huge mag dumps, but sometimes you get caught unawares and you find yourself firing very rapidly, very quickly, and so there's that for you guys. So let's go overhead. Let's go over here, sorry, and look at this. So the best parts for recoil are the buttstock. You want to have it out. You want to have a V4 foregrip, although the grenade launcher really isn't very much worse at all. So that's going to make a lot of people happy. Rail doesn't matter. You want the shortest barrel you can get, and you want a compensator. The optics, the magazine, the side rail, those things don't matter. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful for you. This is how you want to set up a rifle for really, really close. If you're going to be in close quarters battle, this is going to be a really, really good setup right here. Although if you aren't expecting anything over 100 meters, I wouldn't worry about the rangefinder. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this guide was helpful. My name is Darkdally, and I will catch you guys next time.